Okay, so good day to each and everyone. Now I will be the representative to report for the third report for the plane and solid geometry by the group 5. Now, so my focus is about there. So the topic that I will be discussing to each and every one of you is all about the surface area of prisms and cylinders. Now our focus is in prisms. So according to here, most of the geometric figures studied up until now have been two-dimensional. So a plane is a kind of a two-dimensional figure, line also. So for now, we were talking about plane figures. This time we will be talking about a polyhedron or solid figures because measures of common three-dimensional or solid figures called polyhedron are introduced in this lesson. By definition, a polyhedron is a geometric figure made up of a finite number of polygons that are joined by pairs along their sides and that enclose a finite portion of space. So with a finite number of polygons, finite number of vertices, edges, and face, we can come up with an enclosed finite portion of space. Now we can call as solid figures or polyhedron. The polygons that make up a polyhedron are called the faces. The common sides are called the edges, and the points where the edges intersect are called the vertices. Next, next we'll be discussing about yes, kinds of polyhedron. Now, these are examples of polyhedron. Okay, polyhedron. So these are example of polyhedron. Okay. So this one is a cube, this one is a pyramid, this one is a triangular prism. So a polyhedron is a prism if and only if it has two congruent faces that are contained in parallel planes and its other faces are parallelograms. The two congruent faces are the bases. Two congruent faces are the bases. The other faces are the lateral faces. So this one, example, here in the triangular prism, we can see two congruent faces. They are what we call as the bases. Now, of course, the other faces alongside the bases are the lateral faces. Now, the lateral faces intersect in the lateral edges, all of which are parallel and congruent. Now, so there are two classification of um, polyhedron or prisms, this time prisms. So if the lateral edges are perpendicular to the planes of the bases, the prism is called right. If the lateral edges are not perpendicular to the bases, the prism is called oblique. So, see, very distinct. The definitions are very distinct. The qualifications of what is a right prism and an oblique prism is definite, no? It's very distinct. Right prism, this one because they are perpendicular, while this one they are not perpendicular, so they are called as oblique prism. Now, a regular prism is one whose bases are regular polygons. Okay, next is here's this one. This one. Okay, so this one, a segment is an altitude of a prism if and only if it is perpendicular to the planes of both bases of the prism. The length of the altitude of a prism is called the height of the prism. In a right prism, the height is the same as the length of any lateral edge. Okay, so when we say altitude of a prism from base to the from the second base, no, so that is the altitude of a prism. The distance between the first base to the second base. Yan. And then, the length of the altitude of a prism is called the height of the prism. So, when you are asked about the altitude or when you are asked about the height, they are the same thing. The lateral area of a prism is the sum of the areas of the lateral faces. And the total area of a prism is the sum of the lateral area plus the area of the two bases. If a prism is a right prism, its lateral faces are rectangles, and formulas exist for finding the lateral and total area. So, by finding the surface area, all you need to do is to add all the areas of the lateral faces and then add also the areas of the bases. That's it. Next. Okay, next. Oops. Okay, here we are. Next is so there are two theorems to consider when we are trying to find the lateral area and the total area of a right prism respectively. So according here, the lateral area L of a right prism equals the perimeter of a base times the height of the prism. Now, when we say the perimeter of a base, of course, we are concerned with the sum of the sides of a base. At the same time, we multiply it by the height of the prism. Next is the total area. The total area T of a right prism is the sum of the lateral area L and the area of the two bases 2B or T is equal to L plus 2B. Now, but the question in mind is what is the surface area? So of course, when we say surface area, the focus here is both the lateral area and the total area. It depends on the question. So, for example, this one, find the lateral area and the total area of each right prism. This one, letter A, letter B, and letter C. Okay. So next is to okay. So when you look into the letter A, the figure A, the figure A, somehow it looks like a cube, right? So when we're looking for a surface area or the total surface area of a cube, you need to concern the lateral area first. So the lateral area is equal to the perimeter multiplied by the height. Now, the perimeter is 2 centimeter, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, the side is 2 centimeter. And when we say cube, it consists of 6 squares that are put together to enclose a space. So of course, you can see that there are a total of 6 a total of 6 including the bases. But without the bases, without the two bases from up to down, the lateral faces or the sum of the lateral faces consists of 4 squares altogether. Now, according to here, L is equal to PH. Now, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 multiplied by 2 because 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, it consists of the number of perimeter, no, the number of sides of a square. Yeah, of a square. And then when we add it all up, it will result to 8 multiplied by 2 because yeah, this is an area question, no? A question about area. So the answer would be 16 centimeter squared. Okay, next is to find the total area. Of course, we need to add the other two. The length would be the lateral area would be 16 centimeters squared plus 2b. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2, 8. 16 plus 8 is 24 squared centimeter. That's the answer. Now, next up would be cylinders. So we are done with prisms. Let's proceed to cylinders. Now, cylinders, many everyday objects are shaped as cylinders. The methods for finding the lateral area and the total area of cylinders are similar to those used when working with prisms. It's just the same. However, the difference is when we see cylinder, the bases are already in the form of a circle, two circles from up to down, from top to bottom. Now, a cylinder may be thought of as a prism whose base is a polygon having infinitely many sides. Now, that's many sides. Its bases are congruent circles contained in parallel planes. Now, when we say infinitely many sides, the only figure that comes to mind is circle. Because a circle, by definition, is a polygon having infinitely many sides. That's the definition of a circle. However, we don't know how many sides. It consists of infinitely many. Now, the lateral surface of a cylinder corresponds to the lateral faces of a prism, and the circumference of the bases corresponds to the perimeter of the base of the prism. So, earlier, we talked about the perimeter of the base of the prism. Now, this time, we will be talking about the circumference because the concerned bases of a cylinder are circles, not squares, not rectangles, not parallelograms anymore. Now, let's talk about the parts of a circle. So, according to here, the axis is the segment that joins the centers of the bases of a cylinder. Now, if the axis is perpendicular to the bases, the cylinder is called a right circular cylinder or a right cylinder. If the axis is not perpendicular to the bases, the cylinder is called an oblique circular cylinder or simply oblique. Now, the altitude of a cylinder, so, okay, before that, let's talk about which is which. Now, this is the axis from here to here, there. Now, that's it. That's the axis of a cylinder. Okay. Now, the altitude of a cylinder is the perpendicular segment that joins its bases. The length of the altitude is called the height of the cylinder. So, regardless whether the cylinder is oblique or right, there's still an altitude to be considered. Now, altitude, however, is concerned from the height the height of the cylinder from top to bottom. So the lateral area of a right circular cylinder depends on the circumference of the base and the height of the cylinder. The total area depends on the lateral area and on the area of the circles that are the bases. Next is last one. Now, so let's try to solve. Okay, so there are two, same with prisms, there are two theorems to consider when we are trying to find the the lateral area L and the total area T of a right circular cylinder respectively. Okay, so theorem 12.3, according to theorem 12.3, the lateral area L of a right circular cylinder equals the product of the circumference C of the base and the height of the cylinder. So height multiplied by the circumference of the base. Now, you all know that the circumference of the base is 2 pi r. All you need to know now when you are trying to find the lateral area of a right circular cylinder, you just multiply it by h. So that's how you find the lateral area of a right circular cylinder. Now, let's talk about theorem 12.4. According to theorem 12.4, the total area T of a right circular cylinder equals the sum of the lateral area L and the area of the two bases. So same with prism, T is equal to L plus 2B. However, the concerning part is the pi with r and h, no? Equals 2 pi rh plus 2 pi r squared. Now, you can also simplify it by simply saying that 2 pi r is multiplied by the quantity of h plus r. So, that's how you find the total surface area of a right circular cylinder. Now, let's take this for example. Find the lateral area and the total area of each right cylinder. So when we are concerned with lateral area alone, so this is in terms of pi. So it's not, it doesn't have an approximate value as it is. So you just need to multiply it by pi. But in terms of pi, just leave pi b, or just simply merge pi to the integer that has been solved. Now, A is, for A, the solution is L is equal to 2 pi 6 times 12. Why? Because the radius is 6, and then the axis or the height, the height or the altitude is 12 centimeters. Now, when you multiply 12 times 6 times 2, that would be resulting to 144 pi squared centimeter. Now, let's take on to the total area. The total area is 2 pi times 6 times quantity 12 plus 6. 12 plus 6 is equal to 18. Now, 18 times 6 is equal to, if I'm not mistaken, it's equal to 108. 100, tama ba? 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 times 6 is, 36 times 3. 6 times 3. 108. That's correct. Now, 108 multiplied by 2 is 216. 216 pi squared centimeter. That's the total area of this right circular cylinder. Now, this time, letter B. But first, let's focus on what's the radius. The diameter is 16 inches. Therefore, the radius is diameter to be divided by 2. That would be resulted to 8 inches. Next, the altitude of the cylinder is 3 inches. So, the lateral area is equal to 2 pi times 8 times 3. 24 times 2 is 48 pi squared inches. And then the total area is 2, okay, 2 pi times 8 times 11. 11 times 8 is 88 times 2 is 176 pi squared inches. So, again, that's how you solve the surface area of the prism and cylinder. Thank you so much for listening and have a good day ahead.